Hey guys, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman, and it's time for your dose of some fragrance content. Today's video is going to be about the clones that I currently enjoy the most, and today's list includes a total of 11 fragrances. First of all, I want to mention something. It was really hard to actually narrow the number of fragrances that I'm going to feature in today's video down to only 11, because even 20 fragrances probably wouldn't be enough to squeeze in all of my favorite clones, but I'm going to show you the ones that I'm just currently enjoying the most. It's not like those are my all-time most favorite clones, just the ones that I'm enjoying at the current time. Also keep in mind that today's list won't include any fresh fragrances, simply because I'm going to do a separate video on my favorite current fresh clones or affordable fragrances. I'm probably going to do that video next week, but I'm not a huge fan in general of fresh scents, and it will be really hard and probably a little bit dishonest for me to create a list of 10 favorite fresh scents. So that list will probably be, that video will probably include a little bit less fragrances than usual. With all that out of the way, let's start with the actual list that I've prepared for today. The first fragrance that I'm going to show you comes from the brand of Fragrance World, and it's called Oud Madness. And this fragrance was such a huge pleasant surprise for me that I really can't believe, how cheap this one is and how much I actually like it. This is a clone of Oud Maracuja from Maison Crivelli. It's not a one-to-one clone. This is sort of like an interpretation of the original fragrance. While it carries a lot of the same notes, while it carries a lot of the same scent, like the rose, the leather, the agar oud, the passion fruit, this feels a lot more fruity. This has more ambery sweetness as well. So in general, this is like a sweeter, a softer, a more fruitier take on Oud Maracuja, and in my opinion, it's a lot easier to wear than the original fragrance. Also, although this is not a hot weather fragrance, definitely this feels a little bit more versatile than the original scent, simply because of the toned down agar oud notes, the leather note. So, the more fruity sweetness that this one has makes it a little bit more versatile than the original fragrance. And I've been really digging a lot, Oud Madness from Fragrance World. The next one that I've included in today's video comes from the brand of Afnan, and this is probably the only sort of a fresh fragrance that will be featured in today's video. It's called Turathi Blue, and of course this is a clone of none other than Bulgari's Tiger. I've said this many times, but I really like Tiger a lot, and this is probably my most favorite clone of Tiger since the day I got it, probably like 2 years ago or something like that. Now, Tiger is a great fragrance, but unfortunately it's a very, very expensive, and luckily we have a few great clones of Tiger, and Turathi Blue is one of the best, and currently, just since day one actually, I've been enjoying this one a lot. It's a very versatile men's fragrance that can be worn throughout the year. Winter and summertime will get you a lot of compliments. It's safe for office usage. It can definitely be dressed up and be worn on a night out. It offers nice quality, good performance, the usual good performance and quality that you would expect from the brand of Afnan, while at the same time it costs just a fraction of the price of the original. The next one that I've included in today's video comes from the brand of Paris Corner. It's called Camaro Homme Intense, and of course this one is a clone of Dior Homme Intense, one of my most favorite men's fragrances. It's one of the few really good clones of Dior Homme Intense that I own, and probably right now it's my most favorite one. It carries that very interesting signature smelling scent that feels almost niche, because of how different it is from anything else on the market. You get that lipsticky, makeupy iris note, you got the sweet pear note, you got the musks, you got the ouds, you get a bit of that cacao or chocolatey vibe. It's a great fragrance. Probably this feels more like a twist because it has a bit more darkness than the original fragrance. It has a hint of a leather note, which makes it a little bit different than current formulations of Dior Homme Intense. That will probably remind you a little bit of your own perfume as well. So it's a great fragrance all around. It has good quality, it has good performance, and it's a very, very affordable. The next one comes from the brand of Orientica. and it's called Bleu, and this one is a clone of Parfum de Marlis Layton. And out of the all clones of Layton, and out of the few really good clones, really great clones of Layton that I own, this right now is my most favorite one. Again, it feels like a small twist. It's not a one-to-one clone. This one feels a little bit more fruity, slightly more ambery than the original fragrance, lacks a bit of that greenness, a little bit of that spiciness in the opening of Layton, which probably for some people may be a good thing, because it will feel a little bit softer, a little bit sweeter, maybe a little bit more easier to wear, and it's a great clone. Now, Orientica is a sort of a sister or sub-brand of Alair, so you can think of this as being an Alair fragrance as well. But Orientica usually offers really nice quality. They're a little bit more expensive sometimes, but at the end of the day I think it's still worth it, because even at a slightly higher price point of around about, I don't know, 50-60 euros, this still costs about a third of the price of the original fragrance. Quality is superb, performance is pretty much on par with Layton itself, and all around, if you love Layton, definitely check out Royal Blue from Orientica. Alright, now let's move on to the brand of French Avenue. I have a total of 3 fragrances from the brand of French Avenue included in today's video. The first one will probably surprise nobody, because it's called Liquid Brun, and this is probably the most famous clone of Parfum de Marlis Altair. So if you are familiar with Altair, you know what you're getting into with Liquid Brun. It's a fragrance that's very heavy on the vanilla note. You'll get a bit of a floral touch from you know, an orange blossom note, which gives a bit of airness to the fragrance, and slightly softens up the sweetness of the vanilla. You get you know, quite a strong cinnamon note. You'll get some ambroxan and some ouds on the dry down. Basically, it's a great fragrance that's very popular right now. The original scent profile is very popular. More and more really good clones of Altair are coming out to the markets, but I think Liquid Brun to this day remains probably the best one. Quality is very good, performance is on par with the original fragrance, meaning total longevity, but this one actually projects a little bit better than Altair itself, because it has a stronger cinnamon note in the opening, feels a little bit sharper than Altair itself, which you know, shows that this has a slightly lower quality than the original, but at the same time it helps with the projection, because this projects better in my personal experience than Altair itself. It's a little bit more pricey, but nowadays the prices have settled a little bit. This can be found for something like 45 euros here in Europe, so around about $45 to $50 in the US. At that price point, if you like Altair, if you like vanilla based fragrances in general, I think Liquid Brun is a no-brainer. The next one is a part of a line that's co-created by Aromatics, a fellow fragrance YouTuber, and French Avenue themselves, and it's called Carnal Desire, and this is a fragrance that in a way smells similar to something like, let's say, Oud Madness and Oud Maracuja, but in a way it's not like a clone of that original scent, or smells like, or it doesn't mean that it smells super close to the original fragrance. This one draws more like, it feels more like an inspiration, because you'll find some similar notes like the rose note, you'll find the leather note, you'll find a bit of the agar oud, but this feels sweeter, because this has a different type of sweetness. First of all, this feels more sugary sweet, this feels more like a candied sweet. It just carries a different type of sweetness. It's not a fruity sweetness, it's a little bit different, but it's a great fragrance that's done in a similar style, and this was a love at first sniff for me personally. Offers really good performance, lasts for a very long time, projects really nicely, and out of the current lineup of you know, Aromatics fragrances, this one remains my most favorite one. And the last one from Fragrance World or French Avenue that I've included in today's video is called Moonstone Noir. And this is a very interesting fragrance that again has a lot of vanilla, but this is very different, because this feels like a very smoky vanilla, slightly spicy. In a way, this fragrance reminds me a little bit of things like Baby Cat or Rosendo Mateo No. 5, but it's at the same time feels a little bit different. This is more smoky, there's a bit of leather in here, the vanilla note is quite dominant, there are a bit of spices as well, and I don't know exactly how to explain how this one smells, but it's like, you know, like baking vanilla on a campfire or something like that. But it smells really, really nice. When I ordered this one, I didn't know what to expect, but it was a pleasant surprise initially. And in fact, I wore this one today, and I was really sort of happy with the performance of this fragrance. It lasts for a very long time and projects really, really nicely. So if you like smoky vanilla based fragrances with a bit of leather and some spices, definitely you know, check out Moonstone Noir from French Avenue. The next few that I'm about to show you all come from the brand of Armaf. Armaf have definitely stepped up their game, you know, at the end of last year and early on in 2025. Now, two of the three fragrances that I'm about to show you have been around for a while. Only one of them is relatively new, but still right now Armaf are doing a great job in my opinion. Let's start with the oldest one that I've had in my collection and I've included in today's video. It's called Club de Nuit Iconic, and of course this one is a clone of Bleu de Chanel EDP. And I really like this one a lot. You know, every time I smell it, every time I wear it. I wore this one a few days ago. It was my scent of the day a few days ago. You know, I just kept, you know, keep thinking how great of a fragrance this one. You know, the original is very popular. It's a fragrance that's super versatile, a masculine blue scent, the king of blue scents. And, you know, Club de Nuit Iconic is a great clone of the original. Of course, lacks a bit of the quality, but it makes up that with better performance than the original fragrance. This one lasts way longer on my skin than the original scent, and also projects a lot better than the original. It's, you know, prices of this one have started to creep up a little bit, but still, even at a slightly higher prices of, let's say, 30-35 euros, this still costs no more than a third of the price of the original fragrance. Chanel scents have been going very, very expensive lately, unfortunately. So if you can't afford Bleu de Chanel EDP, or if you don't want to spend that amount of money on a bottle of a designer scent, definitely check out Club de Nuit Iconic. I think this is a really great fragrance from the brand of Armaf. The next one is one of their new releases. It's again part of the Club de Nuit line. This one is called Lionheart. And this is, of course, a clone of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Mot Elixir, a fragrance that's very popular right now, original fragrance that's very popular right now. It's a fragrance that I really, really like a lot. And, you know, this is a great clone. This is probably my most favorite clone of, you know, of Le Mot Elixir. It's sweet, it's tobacco-y. It has a bit of freshness in the opening, a bit of spices. There's a bit of lavender just to give it a little bit more, you know, of an aromatic feel. It lasts for a long time, projects really nicely. You know, it's almost, the performance of Lionheart is almost on par with the original fragrance on my skin. It costs about a third of the price of the original. So again, just like with the previous one, if you like the original scent but you can't afford it, or if you don't want to spend that amount of money on the original scent, you can't get better than Club de Nuit Lionheart when it comes to clones of you know, Le Mot Elixir. So this was a great find for me in this you know, early on in 2025. And let's move on to the last two fragrances that I've included in today's video. The next one again comes from the brand of Armaf. This one is called Club de Nuit Precieux, and you know, this is a clone of Creed Aventus Absolute, a clone with a twist. It doesn't feel or smell super close to the original fragrance, but basically you're getting that recognizable and famous scent DNA of Creed Aventus, but slightly darker, slightly sweeter. And you know, this fragrance has been an absolute monster for me when it comes to compliments. I've been wearing this one quite a lot because it's a super versatile fragrance. Maybe not as versatile as the original Creed Aventus, because again, this feels a little bit darker. Maybe it's not so suitable for hot weather, but apart from the hottest days of the year, in all the other days of the year, this you know, can be worn without any problem. It's again very safe for office usage. You can wear it on a night out, you can wear it on a date night, and this is a fragrance that will almost guarantee you compliments. For me personally, this has been an absolute compliment monster. It offers superb quality, it offers a very strong performance. It's not an absolute beast, but still it lasts for a very long time, projects really nicely. And the best thing out of all is that when this was released last year, it used to be quite expensive, but nowadays can be found for a very reasonable price at around about 45 euros. It's a 55 milliliter bottle size, but you know, the performance, the versatility of the scent profile and the complement factor makes up for the slightly smaller bottle. And the last fragrance that I've included in today's video comes from the brand of Rayhaan. It's called Lion, and this one is a clone of Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Mauve. I absolutely love the original fragrance. Up to the point I got Lion, my most favorite clone of Ultra Mauve was 9 p.m. from the brand of Afnan. I still love that fragrance a lot, but Lion has taken the spot of my most favorite clone of Ultra Mauve in my heart very easily, because this feels a little bit closer to the original fragrance. First of all, 9 p.m. is a little bit of a fresher twist. This one is sweeter and feels closer to the original fragrance. It offers great quality and offers a monstrous performance. This one just lasts for a very long time. It's an absolute beast, projects, you know, very strongly. And just like Club de Nuit Precious, this is a compliment getter, a compliment monster. And last week we were traveling to Vienna, and a friend of mine that we met is using this fragrance, and he sprayed like 4 or 5 sprays, and we spent the day together. And whenever he moved, I can just feel the scent trail of Lion behind him, and people were complimenting him on his scent. It's a fragrance that I really like a lot, and right now it's one of my most favorite clones. And so guys, in today's video I showed you the 11 clone fragrances that I'm currently enjoying the most. I hope that you found today's video interesting to watch. If you did, give it a like. And I also hope that you're going to join me in my next video for your dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.